Are those scenes meant to mean something? I don't really know. Cause and reason. Why is it that the flow of time feels so slow when there's nothing to do? In the end, what we call time is a subjective thing, vague and prone to frequent fluctuations. Felt like an eternity had passed since that meal. What the hell? Pressing 1 on the numpad does that. And pressing 3 does it as well. That's pretty cool. At long last, the outside had become wrapped in darkness. The four of us occasionally had fragmented conversations with frequent pauses in between, but most of the time was spent in continuing silence. As if starting the night watch, Yomogi had quietly camped himself in front of the drum stove with his eyes closed. It was probably to preserve his strength. Miyazumi too had shut herself up in her own territory, having not moved even once. My stomach, which had gone without dinner, continued to make groaning sounds. Wanting to conserve my energy, I pulled my blanket over my head like the other two had, and kept my eyes shut. Due to the hunger, it felt as if my stomach had a fever. I struck my stomach with fists and endured the hunger. That's right. I thought that the sensation of hunger was a clue to the true nature of the situation. Personality exchange occurred, and I remember getting hungry. Even though I'd eaten my fill at sphere. In that case, it showed that the entirety of our bodies didn't change as well. It was a strange hypothesis, but with this I could reject the possibility that my body had transformed into that of Yukidoh Satoru and jumped over there. I advanced my speculation while watching the steam rise from the kettle. It was my brain that felt hunger. The feeling of the need to eat comes from a signal sent out by the nerves in the digestive system that is felt as hunger. Then it would be wrong to think that our brains were switching back and forth, wouldn't it? As to the likelihood of that, I tried to find some way to verify it. However, I concluded that it was impossible to do so. I felt hungry immediately after transfer, as soon as my body became that of Fuyukawa and Cocoro. If our brains themselves had switched, the blood inside the brain should have accumulated sugar to be used for energy, to some extent. In other words, I shouldn't have remembered that I was hungry immediately. It would be appropriate to think that my mind never separated from my body in the world, and that the hunger signal was continuously being sent out. In the first place, seriously thinking that my brain could have jumped is pretty stupid, huh? I murmured in a small voice. Even if my brain jumped into Satoru's skull and perfectly united with the nerve tissue of his spinal cord with a pop, what awaits after that would be a rejection response. Attack beyond all imagination. I think what it means by that, and I could just go into it, I think what it means by that is if you were to put one brain into another person's head, the body would reject it. I think that's what she's talking about. Because the body just wouldn't accept it, and yeah. Something like swapping brains is nonsense. As expected, that can only be interpreted by my personality. But what is consciousness in the first place? The me at Sphere was definitely Fuyukawa's personality. It had entered Yukidoh Satoru, but it was me. If I borrow the figurative comparison from Satoru's note, the driver operating the car known as Yukidoh Satoru is unmistakably Fuyukawa Cocoro. The reason I think the me in that world and the me in this world are the same is... what? What is me to begin with? While thinking this, I came to a single conclusion. It's because our memories are connected. But wait a second, weren't memories located in the brain? This is 999 all over again, where Lotus was thinking of what if the brains are just the monitor and everything a person thinks and stuff is actually from somewhere else. I saw this documentary on TV. It pointed out the mechanism called memory, simply put, a network of neural circuits. For example, say you wanted to memorize the word apple. When memorizing the word apple, it is necessary for your brain cells to branch into dendrites and lengthen into each other, connected to the synapse. Physically, it is red, circular, and a fruit. A variety of different elements must be remembered in combination for you to be able to recall it. The circuit necessary for remembering apple requires the recollection of the word apple to be completed. In other words, memory is asking, in what pattern are your brain cells connected? It goes without saying, but Satoru's brain and my brain are different. Even so, the memories they were supposed to have been engraved in my brain only were recalling by Satoru's brain. Does this mean that the moment my consciousness flew into Satoru's brain, the neural network inside his brain changed and connected in the shape of Fuyukawa Kokoro's memories? Is something like that even possible? Or is it that the host computer is in my skull in the shelter cabin, and only the client terminal is where Satoru is, like a remote control robot? Rather than the neural circuitries of the brain changing in the blink of an eye, the possibility of this being the case feels much higher. I wrapped myself up in my blanket and lay down with a soft thud. My head was starting to hurt from all this thinking. Suddenly I noticed both Yumoki and Uni letting out a groan similar to mine. Is it because it got wet after all? Because it got covered in snow when we reached its cabin? I think so. If we had a radio, we'd at least have a source of information. The two of them were looking at a portable radio they were holding, scrutinizing it carefully. Ooh. Feeling revitalized, I inquired. The radio, what's wrong with it? It was inside my coat pocket. I noticed it just now. But I can't hear anything very well. If we try it... Wait, was that? Yeah. If we try it, we might be able to use it, though. Alright, time to test it. Want to try taking it apart? Why do men always recklessly try to take things apart? Wait, what? Don't we have a screwdriver? Let's just use a knife instead. Yomogi seemed somehow cheerful and took a survival knife from his breast pocket. He tried to unscrew the radio using the knife's edges, but the knife was too sharp in the first place, so it was a fierce battle. It's no good. Assembly is impossible. How disappointing. It's no surprise. Having expressed his disappointment, Uni returned to the radio to his pocket. And with his hand in his pocket, he put on a smile as if he were playing a trick. Hey, Cocoro. Uni rushed over and brought his face closer to mine. What? Come here for a second, he said, lowering his voice and winking. Pulling out my hand, Uni led me towards the basement storeroom. Trust and deception. Really? Okay. What is it, Uni? When we reached the underground storeroom, Uni glanced around to confirm that no one was here. And then with a smile, he looked as if he'd come up with a good prank. He put his hand in his pocket. I'll give this to you. Ooh. Fruit candy. The bottom of his hand were 2 candies. They're in my pocket, but there aren't enough for everybody. Let's secretly eat them ourselves. But eating them in secret? Cocoro, you didn't get to eat lunch, right? That's why, okay? And besides, these are mine. Let's eat them before Tombi finds out we have them. Tombi probably refers to Meizumi. I thought it would be unfair to the other 2 upstairs, but... Fuyukawa Cocoro's body is hungry. It's not like we can break up hard candy and divide it between us. That's true, it's not really fair, but I guess I'll have one. That's how it should be. Which one do you want, Cocoro? There's melon flavored and pineapple flavored ones. Let's see, she doesn't like pineapple, doesn't she? Oh, she doesn't like it and stuff. But we'll take it anyway. I actually clicked it, but still. I guess I'll try the pineapple flavored one. Oh, how exotic. Okay, that's Cocoro. I always get... Since this game doesn't seem to show the main character much, every time the main character appears, I get confused. Uni placed the hard candy firmly in my hand. Somehow it felt as if we were in a candy store. Thanks! I wrapped the candy and tossed it into my mouth. It may have been pineapple taste, artificially produced using sweeteners, but it was very delicious. Now that I think about it, are you alright with pineapple flavored stuff, Cocoro? Uni smiled while popping the melon candy into his mouth. What do you mean? I thought you might hate it. Why? Well, you said you hated pineapple from sweet and sour pork. What? 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 How? That should be in the future! What? God damn it, this is mind-fucking me! Anyway, it's unbelievable, isn't it? You're supposed to be eating pineapple, but it's warm! Moreover, it's covered with Chinese-style sauce. It feels like being cheated. Like the feeling when you catch someone you believe in being unfaithful red-handed. Okay, so I originally was thinking that he's just in, like, Satoru's world. He's an older version, but now I've realized something. He looks exactly the same as Satoru's world. And the fact that he just commented on that means he must be able to jump from each timeline? How? That's just weird. Oh, what? Ugh. Yeah, but it's exactly the same feeling. We both rolled the candy around our mouth, smiled. Hey, Cocoro. Huh?
What? Wanna get married?
Huh? Pardon me, what did you just say then?
I said let's get married.
How did we get on this topic? What's this kid saying all of a sudden? My face turned red as I replied. Uni's sudden request had panicked me and I was suddenly angry. Somehow that can only come about when two people mutually agree on it together.
Do you hate me, Cocoro?
Of course I don't.
That means you like me, right? I like Cocoro too. Okay, now it's official.
That's wrong.
Jeez, I was just kidding. You don't have to get so angry.
Jokes have their limit too.
I guess.
But if you and I got married, it'd be Kisada Cocoro, wouldn't it?
That's not set in stone, right? Didn't you know the dual surname bill? It was passed in 2008.
Now that he mentions it, that's right. When I get married, I want to change my name to be the same as my spouse's. It's a dream of mine. After a moment of friendly chatter, I gathered my resolve and decided to ask him. Twin. It's gonna be nice. Uni, you're not a twin or anything, are you? Uni exists as two people. The simplest solution would be if you were a twin. If you were a twin, that would take care of the contradiction of witnessing him both in sphere and here. However, I'm not a twin. I see.
I'm not a twin.
I see.
I mean, if I had a twin, would I still have the same deep voice for an 11-year-old? No, I wouldn't, bitch.
It seems things don't always work out so easily in the world. Uni placed these hands on the ladder, grinning like Cheshire Cat.
Well, I'm going back up. If the two of us are here alone for too long, they might get suspicious. They might think we're doing something dirty.
Children shouldn't say stuff like that. After I said that, Uni looked up at me with a glance that gave me chills.
Want to test whether I'm a child or not?
What? My heart started beating harder in a strangely seductive way of speaking. My cheeks reddened ever so slightly.
Jeez, Cocoro too, are you really 20? Ain't you really a child?
Hey!
It was only a joke, don't get angry, Cocoro.
Uni apologized and teasingly stuck out his tongue. And keeping one hand on the ladder, he pushed his hair back with the other. He did it as if he was some female judo athlete. It's not as if I'm setting up my hair to put a sign there. Pointing at the clothing in his chest, it's not like I have my initials embroidered on my shirt collars. Colors don't have any, and my shirt's colors don't have any special characteristics. What are you saying? I don't think I have anything that would hint towards me having a twin.
Why were you curious about something like that? You're strange, Cocoro.
I mean, there should have been a third option, so I don't question him at all. But, okay. An only precocious smile on his face, Uni said those last few words and climbed up the ladder. There was a single reason I thought he had a twin, because I had witnessed two Unis. If he doesn't have a twin, how else is it possible to encounter the same person in two places? Both his shelter and cabin and sphere. I had unconsciously crunched the candy into tiny pieces while pondering, even though I wanted to take my time eating it. I rolled the candy that had become so small as a grain around the top of my tongue, and enjoyed the fruit flavor. I then realized, how does that boy know what my tastes are? I talked about them when we were eating breakfast at Sphere. Now we're finally mentioning it. God damn it. Other than that time, I've talked about which foods I hate. In other words, does that mean that Uni and I had breakfast with that Sphere and the Uni that just gave me candy held the same memories? They hold the same memories. Just a moment ago I was thinking something similar. About the relationship between memory and the brain. And the personality jumping into somewhere else in the world. Can't be. My heart jumped when I realized one possibility. Was Uni experiencing a personality exchange just like us? Whenever Satoru and I underwent a personality exchange, perhaps Uni's personality was undergoing his exchange as well. No, I can't say whether it's at the same time or not. However, it was at least certain that Uni had been transferring between the shelter cabin and Sphere like we were. The Uni that heard me speak at Sphere had jumped over here. But how can Uni be both here and in Sphere? Satoru's, in my case, were exchanging bodies. Perhaps in Uni's case, he occasionally gets the same body. Occasionally? I was amazed at the silliness of my idea. As Uni's memory remains uncontinuous between the shelter cabin and Sphere, maybe his personality was jumping like ours were, or so I deduced. However, the deduction didn't provide any answers about the mysterious phenomenon of seeing Uni at both places. Uni said that he wasn't a twin. If that's the case, then having an identical body over on the other side is impossible, isn't it? Wait, who said that Uni even had two bodies at the same time? It might be that I'm simply misunderstanding things. When I'm at Sphere, I have no idea what the situation is in the shelter cabin. When I'm in the shelter cabin, I have no idea what the situation is at Sphere, which means that this is at the very most a hypothesis. When Uni is experiencing is, to borrow a word from science fiction, teleportation, is it not? Moreover, can it be considered that at the same time that my personality transfers, both Uni's personality and body transfer as well? In other words, Satoru doesn't meet with Uni? Uni is constantly by my side. On top of that unexplainable phenomenon, to pile on even more mysterious logic, a cruelly distorted thought came to mind. Right now, I can think of only one possible explanation for the events happening around me. There's a way to verify it. It would be just to ask Uni. But I wonder, Uni hasn't shown any signs of being confused. You'd usually want to consult with others if you fall into a situation where you're teleporting between places. Till I get my hands on some solid proof, I hold off on asking Uni. Those were my thoughts. I won't confuse them unnecessarily, because we're on the brink in an extreme situation here which could be called a disaster. I nodded to myself once and put my hand on the ladder to climb up. When I go, I see Yomogi sitting in a chair doing knife maintenance. He's wiping the blade off the knife with a cloth. Wondering what he was doing, I went to Yomogi's side. Maintenance?
Yes. I tried to use it to disassemble the radio earlier. Might have gotten some oil on it then. Wiping off the impurities when you're finished using it is common sense when using a knife.
Yomogi continued to carefully wipe the blade as he said that.
A knife is a delicate thing, and if we don't take care of it on a regular basis, it might not be of any use when you need it the most.
After he finished wiping, Yomogi started to carefully check the knife.
Yep.
Seems it was perfect. He nods in satisfaction. And sheathing the knife, he placed it on the surface of the table.
Well then, I guess I'll check on the fire in the stove.
Leaving the knife where it was, Yomogi walked over to the stove. I picked up the knife out of curiosity. Oh god. The fact that they've brought in a knife now, which wasn't brought in before, I feel like this game's gonna go down the dark lane in both worlds. Like maybe someone will snap Mayuzuri, for example, and she probably used a knife on, I don't know who. That'd be funny. Also very scary, but yeah. It was considerably heavy. Its weight was much greater than I imagined from appearance. I pulled it from the sheath. The overall length was about 34.5 centimeters. The blade itself was about 20 centimeters in length. The blade was thick, about 5 millimeters at the blunt end. Wow, it looks really sharp. Rather, it'd really hurt if someone was cut with this. It's like a combat knife used by French mercenary troops. Hey,
that's dangerous, so be careful.
Yomogi noticed that I had taken the knife out without permission and told me to take care.
You'll cut yourself.
Don't worry so much, I say basically. Softly touched the blade of the knife. The chilly coolness transferred to my fingers. Imagine if we personality exchange right now and Satoru comes in and is like, fuck! I cut myself! God damn it, Cocoro! Damn it. That would be hilarious. First death of the game. God damn it, Cocoro! She's dead! Uni's like gone because he teleports away and it's like, no, you're not dead! Yay! We'll have fun and games! We'll have more pineapple! I have no idea. Oh, wow, this is a good knife, isn't it?
Oh, don't be touching the blade. I just finished wiping it down. The oil from your fingers will rub off.
I'm sorry. Tried to apologize, and at that instant, Ah, there we are! Knew it! Called it! Oh, this is gonna be bad! Alarm! When I came to, Tsumi was standing in front of me. I jumped again. Flustered, I looked at the alarm clock. It was 6:03. As I turned to look, Tsumi had suddenly crossed my arm. Her face had a ghastly expression, no more one of anxiety. Is something wrong? Something, I feel uneasy. Uneasy? Tsumi nods slightly. I have a very bad feeling. For example, yes. Like an earthquake is about to happen. An earthquake? An earthquake? Yes, it'd be nice if I were just my imagination. This is Hokkaido, isn't it? That's right, an island off the coast of Wakkanai. Does Hokkaido get a lot of earthquakes? My age of earthquake equals that Tokai region around the Eastern Sea. Earthquakes happen all over Japan. Even in Hokkaido, there are instances where earthquakes cause a lot of damage, like the case of Okushiro Island. Earthquake, right? I remembered hearing about the earthquakes. With a kind of smile, Tsumi said, Sorry, it's fine if it's just my imagination. I apologize if I made you feel anxious. Not at all. You become Fuyukawa-san again, right? I timed my answer with a yes. Felt as if the floor had disappeared. My body fluttered as if I was falling. No, a big tremor. It's an earthquake. As I thought. I caught the staggering Itsami in my arms. Huddling together, the two of us crashed to protect. Crushing sounds came from things falling in the kitchen. It's probably a pretty severe one. It's going to be a lot of trouble to clean up. The moment I had thought, along with the ear-splitting sounds, all the lights disappeared. The earthquake caused a blackout? Was that what happened before? An earthquake caused a blackout? It was Uni's voice. Satoru was probably screaming voicelessly as well. I have to go to them. Within the violent shaking, Isami tried to stand. I grabbed onto her arm. No, walking around now would be dangerous. With the children. Let's go when the shaking settles. The intense tremors settled down after about 30 seconds. Itsumi, I'm trying to say Isami from Danganronpa. Itsumi stands up to snap her to her feet and flies out of the room. I followed after her. Utaro's room. I'm gonna check on Utaru. Understood. Itsumi ran towards Uni's room. Utaru-chan, are you okay? Came flying into Utaru's room. Unable to endure the fear, Utaru was shivering in the corner of the room while moaning weakly. And it wasn't a normal way of shivering. Her eyes were blank. Her teeth were gritted and she was shivering as if she was having convulsions. It was as if she had been thrown down into the coldest ground. Are you hurt anywhere? She grasped onto me as I asked. Placing her cheeks against my chest, she clung to me. I bet you were scared, huh? It's safe now. Utaru nodded, her lips quivering. I gently stroked her long hair, and with that, her shiver subsided. Is Utaru-chan safe? Tsumi had entered the room. She was gently holding Uni by her shoulder. Uni's face was blue, but it didn't seem as if he was injured. She's alright, more or less. A somewhat relieved look had appeared on Tsumi's face, but her expression was still stiff. Thank goodness. But we can't relax yet. Why? Because it's not certain there won't be a tsunami. Tsunami? The image of a tsunami in the sea during winter didn't connect immediately. Yes, in the Okushiro earthquake, a lot of damage was caused by a tsunami. Osage Island is in a similar geographical position. We can't let our guard down yet. Are we gonna die? It's gonna be fine, I'll protect you. Properly until the end. Isn't there any way to protect ourselves from a tsunami, like climbing up to high ground?
How about the clock tower if we're there?
Sami shook her head from side to side. I don't know how to get up to the clock tower. What, you don't know? Yes, Yukidoh-kun might know, but Satoru's personality isn't here right now. And we can only pray there won't be any tsunami. It seems so. In slower cases, it can take a tsunami over 10 minutes to come. In the darkness, we made our way to the living area mostly by touch. Because the living area had a large window, it was slightly brighter here. There, a tableware had scattered on the floor of the kitchen, and living area in the shock of the earthquake. There were also broken objects there. Things like kitchen knives had fallen too, so it was dangerous. Looking at it made me once again realize that a huge earthquake had occurred. The television was still plugged into the power supply, but the blackout had made the screen go dark. We were unable to obtain any information. With me holding onto Yudi's trembling shoulder, we gathered ourselves together and held our breath. Thinking we might be able to hear the sound of tsunami approaching, we strained our ears. The 10 or so minutes that passed felt like an eternity. What we heard was only the roaring of a raging storm. The ominous sound of an approaching wave never arrived. I wonder if we're safe now, Cocoro. He called me Cocoro. He had only ever called me that when he was scared, but it made me really happy whenever he called me Cocoro. Grasping his hand, I opened my mouth. We couldn't stay together until the end of the time of the crash, but we're together now, right? That's what I intended to say. My consciousness was cut off there. Wow! A taste of the primordial sea. Again, this sensation. The sensation of the boundary line of the body being lost and everything melting away. A floating feeling, where you don't even know whether you're facing up or down. That and there is no ease. An absolute feeling of relief rules over me. For all eternity. If only I could remain in this time for all eternity. Discord of group consciousness. When I came to, I was inside the shelter cabin. Wrapped in a blanket, I was watching the fire in the stove. I should have been shivering in the fear of earthquake and tsunamis just a few seconds ago, but the current me was shivering from the cold instead. In many ways, I had no time to relax. In many ways, but yeah. If things continue this way, sooner or later, I'm more likely to just collapse both mentally and emotionally. Right, I need to check the time. I looked back at the watch on my wrist. Huh? It was gone again. Jeez, just what is going on? Getting irritated, I looked around and saw it lying on the table. Looked at the face on the watch. The hands were pointed to 6:36. 6:36, huh?
What's wrong? You're muttering to yourself.
Yomogi peeked to my face, his expression worried. It's nothing at all, I was just thinking about something.
Acho, Fuyukawa-san?
Yes. Looking as if he wanted to say, oh, brother. Yomogi scratched his head, and his bearded face distorted into a forced smile.
Dinner is hardtack biscuits. They don't taste like anything, but it's better to eat them. You went without breakfast after all.
I had only a single lick of hard candy, so my stomach was painfully empty. Thanks for the meal. Yomogi handed me a can of biscuits and a cup of chamomile tea. I tossed the biscuit into my mouth. Dude, they had no taste at all. I had a bite of one yesterday too, and still definitely couldn't call them delicious. I guess expecting the emergency rations to be delicious is too much to ask for though. But even then I had to eat. If I didn't eat, I wouldn't live. I washed down the biscuits with chamomile tea. Do you know why the people who set up this cabin had chamomile tea to put in there? You said that it has a calming effect, but is there some other specific reason?
It's not much of a reason, but chamomile tea also helps with insomnia. In extreme situations like this, your nerves get excited and it becomes harder to sleep, right? I was in consideration of that, so we could relax, even earn a little and get some quiet sleep. Wouldn't it be dangerous to fall asleep in a snowy mountain? In stories like this, people are always saying things like, you die if you sleep.
Oh, that's Cocoro talking. In stories like this, people are always saying things like, you'll die if you sleep, and slapping at each other wake and stuff, right?
It's true, that's when hypothermia sets in. You feel a certain drowsiness, but as long as it isn't that, it's best to sleep when you can. If you don't sleep, you use a considerable amount of physical strength. The reason they had chamomile tea here was out of consideration of that.
Saying that, Yomogi stuck a finger deep into the can of biscuits, plucked out a piece of rock sugar and placed it in his cup. And he smiled at me, as if to say, I should try doing the same. Just as he had, I tried putting a lump of rock sugar into my cup of chamomile tea. It was a little hot, but I stirred it with my finger. The sweetness added to the chamomile tea felt as if it was penetrating every corner of my tired body. You know a lot, Yomogi-san.
I don't know a lot at all. I only know a lot about the mountains. No, even saying that, I know a lot about mountains is a little misleading. I don't know anything about anything besides mountains. The world, fashion trends, politics, the economy, I don't know about anything outside the mountains. The world, fashion trends, politics. The economy, don't know anything about outside the mountains. Especially. A voice rang from the corner of the room and interrupted his speech. If you know that much about mountains, then do something about the situation. This is your home ground, isn't it, Mr. Mountain Man? Yamurgi shrugged his shoulders. Especially the beings known as women. Know less about them than anything. Maizumi, who until now had been lying under wrapped in her blankets, raised herself up. Raising one eyebrow, she stared at Yamurgi. Hoo-hoo! Just which era are you from? Meiji, Taisho, or maybe Jurassic? What? I was born in the Cretaceous period. A trilobite, huh? What's a trilobite? Arthropods that lived in the Cambrian period. Most have had body length of about 2 to 4 centimeters. I'll refrain from making a comeback to that for the time being, but trilobites aren't from the Cretaceous period. You know, saying things like, I know less about women than anything, isn't fashionable anymore. That's why I said I don't know anything about changes in fashion, right? Just be quiet and go to sleep, Maizumi. Don't order me around. You know I'm not trying to threaten you, but without exaggerating, a snowy mountain is truly a grim reaper. What the hell? Starting with the weakest person and working up, it snatches away each life without fail. It won't show you an ounce of sympathy or mercy. Maizumi faltered at his grave term and retreated to her usual sitting position. Understand? Stop wasting your energy. Reserve your strength as much as you can beneath the fire before the fire goes out.
Wait a second, what do you mean before the fire goes out? Don't just let it go out.
The number of matches we have is limited. Because you're always saying it's cold, we use them without even trying to ration. With only the small amount left, either tomorrow or the day after will...
Enough joking around. Do something bad before that happens.
Something, you say? What do you want me to do?
Wearing her blanket like a mantle, Maizumi pointed to the door of the cabin. Go and call for help this instant.
Yeah, understood, your majesty.
Murky went down to the storeroom with his bag in hand. But hesitating, he gathered all the mountain climbing equipment and returned.
Well, then I'm going.
Surprised at Yamurgi's words, I...
Warn Maizumi? Stop Yamurgi. Warner.
Maizumi-san! Jeez, what are you yelling about all of a sudden?
Maizumi opened her eyes wide as if surprised.
There's no way you can just go for help that easily. In a snowstorm like this, even Yamurgi-san would die. You don't even get it, do you? What's with the attitude? The guy himself said he'd go, so what's the problem? Yeah, it's just that
It's just as Maizumi said. I'm finally in the mood to go, so don't try and stop me, Fuyukawa-san.
Saying that, Yamurgi raised a finger in front of Maizumi's face.
1 week to get down the mountain. With a quick move, and he raised his another finger. And 1 week to call the rescue team and then return here.
What?
Ignoring the surprise in Maizumi's voice, Yamurgi put his hands together. Sorry, Maizumi. So that means I'll be out for 2 weeks. Song comes, let them know that.
Right in front of me, as I stood there dumbfounded, Yamurgi's hand reaches for the door.
Bye then.
He's messing with her. Oh, he's actually going out. Wait right there! Flustered, Maizumi closed the door. She grabbed Yamurgi's arm and yelled, Are you gonna leave us here to die?
You're the one who told me to go for help.
I didn't think it would take so long.
Yamurgi threw his back to the floor and glared at Maizumi. When you're trapped on a mountain, the selfishness of a single person will lead to the death of the entire team. It's not just your behavior. If there's a single person who goes on idiotically like you, it'll form cracks in the unity of his team.
You don't have to get so worked up. Maizumi looked down and wrapped herself in her blankets as if sulking. Going back to her territory, she sat down and hugged her knees. As if to calm himself down, Yamurgi took a deep breath and sat next to Maizumi. And shifting his tone from violent to gentle, he continued. Oh, god damn it.
Okay, I'm begging you, Maizumi. Listen to me if you want to survive. I can tell someone that you're the kind of woman who hates doing what men tell you to. But to survive on a snowy mountain, we need to be united will. After a disturbance in harmony like this, death starts to creep nearer. That's what a snowy mountain is like. I'll listen to as many of your gripes and complaints as you want, once we're saved, okay? Izumi had buried her face on her knees, but now cast a sidelong glance at Yomogi. Where's Uni, by the way? Perhaps Yomogi's words had moved her heart. That's what I thought, but I'm tired all of a sudden. Hey, I want to wash my face, so could you draw a bath? You. Yomogi clenched his fist and made a fist as if saying, "You want a woman, I'd really let you have it." Trembling and quivering.
Now, calm down, Yomogi-san.
Oh, what an idiot.
What an idiot, taking it so seriously. I was just kidding.
Izumi put the rock sugar from her biscuit into her mouth and chewed it as she jumped into the top bunk. It must have been vexing for her to have been defeated by Yomogi's sound arguments. Eyes fixed on the wall, Izumi wasn't looking this way. Yomogi released his clenched fist and took a deep breath. Hey, Fuyukawa-san, why did I ever save a woman like that? It would have been like you not to save. It wouldn't have been like you. Maybe you fooled around too much in your past life. Maybe you fooled around too much in your past life. I was just kidding, but it seems like the joke didn't go over too well. And I intend to live earnestly in this life to make up for that. Yomogi shook his head as if saying, "Oh boy," and sat down in front of the stove. He was still wearing all the equipment he had prepared to go for help.
How about we put away your things? It's not like you're going to call out for help anymore.
I started growing anxious. I didn't think he was going to leave us, but the fact that he remained ready to go at any time scared me. If he disappeared, I didn't think we'd make it ourselves. I was planning on going out anyway.
Where?
Don't get so upset, Fuyukawa-san.
But
I'm going to the crash site. There must be a wireless device somewhere within the wreckage. A flight recorder, something else with a source of electricity, right? There might be a power source that works for wireless devices too. However, the chances of finding one in a perfect condition are close to zero, but it's worth a shot, don't you think? There might be food and other useful things might turn up too. But if you go out in a blizzard like this... If I'm going when the blizzard settles down a bit. If I went out now, even I would die. As I ran my hands down his chest, I looked up at him.
Please be careful, okay? You're the only one we can rely on here.
Yomogi scratched his nose in embarrassment and nodded while looking away.
It's about when you go to the research in the wreckage. Of course, I want to help out as much as I can.
Oh, you don't need to worry about that.
No, that's not it. That's not what I meant. How do I say this? It might be that when the time comes, I won't be myself anymore.
You mean Yukidoh-kun, huh?
Right.
In that case, if I happen to be Satoru...
that time, can you tell him this? Help Yomogi-san out as much as you can.
I said it as seriously, but Yomogi raised his voice in laughter. There's no way I could say something like that myself.
That's true.
Yomogi slapped his knee. Oh, I just remembered. I forgot to tell you something important.
Something important?
While searching in his pockets, Yomogi-san said, "Well, I don't know what it's like for you guys, but for me, you two are one and the same. Even if your personality changes, it's difficult to recognize you as a person. Your face and appearance are the same after all."
What are you trying to say?
Yomogi, who was fumbling around his pocket, took out a thin piece of paper. Oh, this is it. He handed it over to me. It was a thin paper you peel off the surface of a cardboard box. Several characters had been written on it. Yukidoh-kun told me to give it to you.
That's a note?
Satoru had left me a note here as well. He told me to give that to Fuyukawa-kun, son, if she returned. But it's not like Fuyukawa-san opens the door and says, "I'm back," or anything like that. That's why I completely forgot. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Yes, somewhat.
Yomogi seemed to want to make an excuse for why he had forgotten to pass me the note, but that didn't matter at all. In an emergency situation like this, asking for perfection is unfair. Ah, damn it. It clicked off again. I didn't have any intention of blaming him. Instead, I was unbearably anxious about Satoru's note.
I want to read the note.
Yeah. Separating myself from Yomogi, I sat down on the bed, looked down at the scrap piece of paper. There was only one single line.
Please listen to the voice recorder. I looked up in my pocket. I took out the palm-sized voice recorder, VR, and pressed the switch. I tried playing it back. Soon I heard a voice coming from the small speaker of the recorder. Cocoro, this is a continuation of my message from before. It's my voice. My voice, which I didn't remember recording. It was proof that during the time in which I had no memory of being in the shelter cabin, Cocoro Fuyukawa's body was being operated by Satoru. I continued listening, growing excited. Since I don't know when we'll transfer again, I'll just get down to business. Calm down and listen, okay? Actually, it seems that my body... That's right, the note had ended there. What was that with Satoru's body, I wonder? It seems someone is after my life. Yeah, here we are. After your life? What do you mean? The voice message continued. I continued listening anxiously. But... God damn it! God damn it, this change is worse than Ace! God damn it! Well... I'm gonna end it here because I've been recording for about 3 hours. And I need to get some sleep, probably. I was planning to stay up, but I realize that people need to sleep, and if I keep on talking like this, people are going to get annoyed. So otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed this so far, and I will continue tomorrow. So, I will see you guys then. I hate these random jumps. They're spoiling things. Well, they're not spoiling things. They're doing the opposite. I want to be spoiled. Oh. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. See ya.